Come on, guy, pick it up. Hurry.
All right. Oh yeah. See, I'm getting the prompt now, so I know
Yeah.
what's next to say. I know the next topic that I'm going to bring up because it's coming up on the teleprompter.
Hey, Cameron, my prompter says you're a fucking loser. You're ready.
That's a beautiful face.
Okay, so welcome to 8-Bit Opinions, the best podcast on YouTube. I am Fozman, the new Wraith, Apex Legends Wraith bald skin cosplayer. Thank you very much. As always, I am joined here by the boys, aka Stan, B-Mel, Fuck, Nosferatu Cam, and Zidane.
What's up, guys?
All right, so I already scuffed the intro, but that's okay because this podcast may be a little scuffed anyways because Discord has been having huge problems lately. Like Cloud is like down. Wait, what's it called again? Cloudflare. I was gonna say where for some reason. And so it's like down. So we're having some technical difficulties, but
beyond our control.
Way beyond.
But we love you. We're gonna get you the content you need.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have we mentioned we're already a day late?
We are pushing through. That's also my fault. Again, technical difficulties that are out of everyone's control. The universe is trying to prevent us from doing a podcast, but we're not having any of it.
And we're saying, fuck you, universe.
Fuck you, pal. We don't care. We're going against the grain, and we're recording anyway. So that's what's happening.
By about this time of night, we're getting closer to the end. We're all getting tired, so we'll see how this goes tonight.
We'll be delirious. We'll be crazy. I'm actually
the whole
excited.
Pot of coffee.
I am.
8-Bit Opinions after dark.
I'm super excited, not only because of this is a different environment for us. I'm excited to see how we do.
Yeah, it's weird on a Friday night,
right? But also the stuff that we're going to talk about today. It's really good. And before I get into it, I just want to say. For anyone watching, like I said, thank you so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff that Cameron urges you to do at the end of every episode. But also, as you're listening to our topics tonight, please comment and let us know what you think about said topics. I'm not going to spoil them yet, obviously, but go ahead and just get ready. Get your fingers ready to type that comment below because we definitely want to hear it. So with that being said, how are you guys doing other than frustrated with Discord?
I'm feeling pretty good. I played Space Engineers like all day.
And he has a complete pot of coffee next to him.
Yeah. Well, about half of it.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I haven't not got to play any video games today. I've been gone. And I'm jonesing to play some games, so
I haven't played anything today either. It feels weird.
I know, so I'm gonna hit that second wind of the night, probably some point in the middle of this podcast. I'm gonna get all awake and excited, and then we're gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna go play. I don't know, maybe some Apex.
Hell yeah, my man!
And then he's gonna stay up till 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, probably. So we'll see what happens. My dad told me that I cannot sleep in tomorrow. We have to ride dirt bikes, so he's gonna be calling me all morning. I'm shut my phone off tonight.
Dan did play some Apex with me earlier, him and
Peter. I did.
And I do not think he had a very good time, to my dismay. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I mean,
that was the bottom.
I was there for it. I was not doing too good. I'm a poor shot, man. I haven't been playing a lot of shooters for the past couple months. I guess that's my excuse. I've never been very talented at shooters. They've always been kind of hard for me. I struggle to keep up with the average player, I think.
If I can say something real quick, Stan, I feel like if I don't play Apex for like if I don't play Apex constantly, I feel like I'm really fucking bad. I don't know how you guys feel about this, like the table feels about just certain games in general and like playing like that, but I know for me personally, like if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna jump back into Apex after not playing for like a month, I start playing and I'm like, I'll like miss a full clip. I'll do an outline of some dude's body.
Right. No, I totally agree with that because I've been playing Apex more than I ever have right now. And when we first started, like I feel like I was doing a quarter of the damage that you did, like on a normal game. Now I feel like I'm doing upwards of half. And sorry, that does not sound impressive, boys, but for me, I'm against Fossman. It's pretty good. The guy does 3K damage a game.
Dude, why can't I get 4K? I just thought of that. It's so hard. I appreciate how hard it is, though. Go ahead, Zaydeen.
I was gonna say it's true. If you don't use it, you lose it. So
Yep.
So a good game in Apex for me is like 400 damage. That's where I feel okay about myself. I've never gone much past that. I think
that
one time I had a pretty Foz, you were telling me about it.
You popped off with the
today.
Spitfire, man. You had like 13. I'm pretty sure you took a screenshot of it. So I think if you looked on your computer, you could find the exact game. Because I'm pretty sure after the game you said I'm taking a screenshot of that. Like I remember that. It was a long time ago, but I do remember that.
Okay.
So I want you to look that up and see if you can find it because I'm curious because it was a really good game.
I feel like my good games are a little over 1,500 damage, but I'll feel good about a game if I'm doing over 1,000.
You have the 2K badge on Bloodhound, right, Cameron?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to go check.
Do you guys want to know something? Like, so like,
hit me with it.
this is kind of, yeah, I just want to know something. I remember when like, I don't know, like there was a time where I never thought, this is why I actually keep playing the game because I always feel like I feel myself getting better. And that's obviously a reason like a lot of people play a lot of different games as they progressively see themselves get better. That doesn't have to be shooters, that can be anything, you know? But I compare that to the badges that we were just talking about because I remember a time where I never thought I could get like a 3K damage badge. I was like, dude, that's like crazy. But like I'm very confident I could do that in most every match now. Whereas like, so it makes me think, well, you know, I can get better and eventually get that 4K that like streamers and like crazy cracked people and cheaters get, but they don't count.
A previous topic we had are Smurfs. Fosman's a big old Smurf right now.
He is.
So I feel like
Wait.
he made an account.
Are you
so he can
talking
rank
about
with us?
Cameron? Hold on a sec. Are you talking about this Fosman, or are you talking about my new Apex Legends friend Fosman 2?
Oh, yeah,
A completely different guy that I've been playing with.
Dude,
Yeah,
no, that's that guy.
That guy's
No,
nuts.
That guy's wild. I don't know how he's so low leveled.
So
It's
damn
nuts.
good.
bro, he's like
Yeah.
level 13 and he's insane.
Yeah.
He's just a natural.
Level 13 with a 3K badge. What the hell?
Seems a little suspicious.
You
Yeah.
got 3K on the level 13.
I have the 4K badge on my level 13, dude.
Oh, okay,
because-
that is exactly what I was bringing up.
What? You were
So
just
I-
saying you couldn't get that.
Yeah, but he didn't
No.
earn, so he doesn't feel honored with it.
Yeah,
So
no, I
that's what
don't
I was
acknowledge it.
just gonna bring up. So Foz and I had played a game because I'm only like level, I think it maxed out at 500. I'm like 140 something, maybe 130 something. So I'm not like all the way up there, but I'm definitely a little bit higher. So, but I still get put with like the lower people. So we've been playing with our buddy Peyton or our friend Jordan.
Both super new.
Both super new, and even when me and Fosman or one of them are in a group together, I can notice the skill difference against the players like that we're playing. And I'm like, okay, these are not people that I'm playing when me and Foz are playing 2v2. But I feel it's awesome because now we've only played 2 or 3 games that way, but I really want to just to see how good I can do. But I feel like I hold my own against those crazy fuckers we play on our, your main account.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
Cool. I mean, but I just want to see. I want to smoke some people. You've been smoking kids, and it's silly. I can hear when you guys are playing. Peyton's like, "Oh, good job, Foz. Do you want another one?"
Yeah.
You feel bad?
I mean, some of them were not very good, to be honest. Like, do you want to know my stats on the game where I got the 4K badge? That lobby, oh man, that lobby was tough. I got 19 kills, and I had and I actually held
Jesus.
back, and I had 4,900 damage.
Oh my goodness, what did you use?
I used so the Prowler dropped twice. So the other thing is like those bot lobbies, those kid lobbies that like I was in.
Bot
Um,
lobbies. Jeez.
so like it's so weird because on like the lobbies I play with like Apex Predator type people, so as soon as the game starts, in fact, before the first ring even closes, probably like half the people are dead, if not more, right? Half the squads.
Mhm.
This went down. This was quick play in like a kid lobby. It went down to the final ring, which is just like a little circle. It was me and two other squads, and we were all like, I was standing on top of a building. I didn't push because I had like no ammo, obviously, because I had 4,900 damage. But I used the Prowler twice. And
Obviously.
I used the Volt. No, trust me, I'm not bragging about that game. It was. That's why I didn't even say I have the 4K badge.
He's honest.
I used the Prowler twice, the Volt, and something else I can't remember. I think the 301, which is really good with damage. Any assault rifle is really good with damage in Apex. Honestly, I think if I used the snipers more and played more ranked, I could get 4K legitimately. It's just I don't play the game. This might sound like an excuse, and that's fair if you want to say that, but I don't play the game in a way that really enables me to get the 4K or 20 kill badge because
20 kill is a bad.
I just go for kills.
Push
Yeah.
W, man.
Holy cow! That's so much harder than 4K.
I
think so.
I almost disagree, man, because you could I've seen like streamers get a 20 kill game with like 3,200 damage. So basically what happened was they yoinked third party, type of stuff
Right.
a lot.
So if we made it a point to help you out, we could be like, all right, hey, we got this guy really weak, you finish him off. So that's still a lot of fighting you have to do to get 20.
Me and Logan tried to do that once when Apex first came out. We tried to get the 20K badge by doing that. We got close a couple times, but we could never pull it off. Neither of us were as good as we are now either. But so like Logan would get someone really weak. He's like, "Oh, Fosman, shoot this guy." I'm like, okay, got him.
Foz,
So
I did find that screenshot, by the way.
oh, what is it? Tell me.
That was 11:32.
Nice.
That game. That was 4 kills, 11:32.
I think you were using the Spitfire.
I think I kind of remember that game.
It has so many bullets.
I get
Lots
so
and lots of
tilted.
bullets.
I get so tilted when I died to it because the person kills me on their like 54th bullet. So they
Fourth.
I'm gonna
Very specific.
I was gonna say something.
55.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they're using their whole clip to kill me with a gun that never stops shooting. I'm calling them trash.
I love me some Spitfire sometimes.
I was using the Devo earlier with paint. I was kind of popping off with that thing. I call it the lawnmower, dude. It warms up and then you just fucking mow people over.
Fucking lawnmower.
Anyways, I digress. I'm sorry. I talk about Apex way too much. How did we get started on this? I'm trying to curtail here for a second.
You said how are you guys doing, and I kind of took it as
Okay.
what are you guys playing, and I had to.
Yeah, that's right. You guys did do that.
I'm hooked on Apex. I wanted to talk about it, so
That's right. Then we brought it up. Okay. Well, yeah. So, oh, that's right. Then I said Stan played it with me earlier. Yada yada. Okay. So the other thing I'll say this because I know no one else has really played anything. The other thing I've played. Shit.
here we go again.
Here we go again. Every time I start playing this game, I just think of that meme from San Andreas. I'm playing WoW Classic again. I really want to get a damn warrior to 60 because it would be my favorite. God, and you know what's gonna suck, boys? Oh, when TBC comes out, I'm gonna want a paladin. So I'm gonna have to do it all over again. You guys gotta make blood elves with me so I can keep my sanity.
For real. So they're supposed to.
Have to.
A rumor I heard is if they do TBC, they'll do a pre-patch like they do with retail.
What's TBC?
The Burning Crusade. It's the next
Thank you.
expansion to World of Warcraft Classic.
Probably better.
So can you explain the expansion thing? Because when I started playing WoW with you guys, I really struggled to understand that. So just in case anybody
Foskin.
doesn't get that.
You want me to do it? You want Wraith to do it?
Yes.
Wait, I want to
Alright.
finish what I was gonna say.
Okay.
So
No.
the new expansion is gonna come out, and I think that they'll do a pre-patch. So like some content from the expansion's release before the expansion, and they'll let you level like Blood Elf Paladin to 60 before the release comes. Because didn't they release the races?
Wait. Question. What are you saying exactly? I can get a head start on it?
Okay, yeah, kinda. So, like in retail with Shadowlands, did they release any new races?
Mm-mm.
Did they release any new classes?
Nope.
Wow, that's weird. Okay,
It's-
well,
it
in
is
the
stupid.
past, didn't they let you use the new races before the expansion was out?
Yes.
So that's what they're thinking about doing.
Oh, I see what you're
A
saying.
pre-patch. Because like Shadowlands, I know that when that pre-patch
Oh,
came
that
out,
would be cool.
like, they did the level
So-
squish.
What would be interesting about that, Cameron, is they're implementing something from newer WoW, a method that they do into, because I know they didn't do that in original TBC. You couldn't like make a blood elf like early or anything like that. It was as soon as the expansion dropped, you were able to do that, you know? So it would be interesting to see them implement that thing from like newer WoW, like retail and stuff into, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, because like when Miss of Pandaria came out, you could make a panda and a monk early. Okay, so when that happens, I want you guys to make blood elves with me.
Nope.
So that I can keep my dang Zidane, please. I gotta keep my dang sanity, because I want to make a rep paladin, and I want to do 2s and 3s with the boys and just shit on some kids.
What's the dream combo? Do I play a priest or a rogue in those 2 to 3? Ooh. Or do I level up the
Don't-
warlock?
Neither.
Dude, don't rogues get bodied in TBC though? Like, aren't
have
they
no
like
idea.
not as? I think they're not. Like, I think they're not as good.
I'd probably play the priest.
The priest, your priest is a beast too. That character's,
dude.
I
priests are-
love that. That character, dude, has made me want to make a priest, and I've never, in all of my WoW career, have wanted to make anything priest related.
So I don't think never before when I was just starting WoW did I get into healing priest. Not until like when level 90 was the cap or something. But now priest is easily my favorite class. I don't know why. I'm not a big support character, but in WoW I think it's totally different being a healer. Like I think it's so cool to be the one that keeps everybody alive.
I'm
Especially,
actually
like,
shocked
dungeon-
that you ended up being a priest in Classic, because before Classic had come out and for some reason someone had asked me, what's Cameron going to be in game, I would have said like the rogue you have or something like that. Definitely not a priest.
So
know, I
Cameron,
got
was
the
your priest the first character you leveled?
No.
No.
That was an interesting story. So I remember I started a rogue and played with everybody as a rogue for like until like level 10 or something. And I
Mhm.
had a full set of bags and maybe a gold to my name. And I was like, man, I want the name Nosferatu. I cannot believe somebody took it. So I added that guy and he was only like level 3 or 4. And I whispered him, I was like, dude, listen, you delete your character, you let me take the name, you add me on your new character, I'll give you everything I have. You'll have a whole slot of bags and a gold. Like, and at the time, no one had that stuff. It was an insane amount of shit. But now it's like, man, I could go farm for 5 minutes and have that much money to get everything I gave that guy. So he went and deleted his character, took his name, and since I had the name I wanted, I went through with the priest.
What was his name?
Nosferatu.
No. I'm sorry. His new name, like that you gave the stuff to?
I don't know, but I kept the note. He mailed me a note later.
Okay,
And-
you got to pull that up because I want to know if this guy is still around. Probably not, but I want to know if this guy is still around.
he didn't play much because I added him, and literally at the time I was like, man, I'm gonna make 100 gold. I'm gonna give this guy 100 gold. That is the coolest thing. So I don't know. I just think the name, it was a very unique name to have, and I'll have it, always. And then my rogue had my, the classic retail name that I had always used.
I should have tried to buy Stan when I had the chance.
Dude, Stan still plays. I've seen him around.
I've passed Stan at the what are the things called?
Auction house,
Not the auction house. The
bank,
floaty boat.
bats, Zeppelins,
Yes, the Zeppelins.
The floaty
floaty
things.
boats.
The floaty boats.
Isn't there someone that for some reason has a name similar to Foz? Because I feel like you Snapchatted me once. What is
Yeah.
your name?
I don't remember, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like a female, like undead or something like that.
Was it PHOZZ? Like, or
No, I don't think it's Foz, but I think it's like, or it might be like PHOZ. Can you remember, Cameron? Probably not.
No, it's probably like PHOS. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Yeah, that's so weird that somebody has. That's so weird that somebody has something like that, because I've never, in all my like years of gaming and having that name, never seen stuff that is similar to that.
Mhm.
Except interesting, in Origin, there's a Fozman 2 playing Apex Legends. It's level
That's
13. That's really good.
That's weird.
That guy,
What a
crazy.
coincidence.
that guy is, yeah.
We should see if we can get that guy in here. I want to talk to him.
Yeah,
wanna
yeah.
meet
If he's watching the podcast, can you please like leave a comment? Can you please?
Yeah.
We'd love to have you as a guest.
I want to thank you in person for the carry.
Sorry if I brought that back or something, but
That was funny. So handles are crazy. I like Stan. I inherited that word from Stan.
Handle?
Like your gamer handle, like your
Yeah.
gamer tag is what I always used to call it, but that doesn't transition over well into computer. So handle is really what I like now, but that's credit to Stan. Like I had always used Euler, which is spelled Oehler.
Euler.
Doxed.
Exactly. Nobody ever can spell that or
Euler.
pronounce that correctly. Exactly. And that's my fault for using that, because I don't blame you. If you read that, you would think it's Euler. So I have now switched to Nosferatu Cam. I just think there's a lot of different references that I enjoy, like the SpongeBob thing, the Berserk thing, the actual vampire thing, and then Cam. So particularly it's Nosferatu Zod in Berserk. So I'm Nosferatu Cam. And I like it. I wish I would have just started with that years and years ago and didn't have to switch over to something new.
Yeah.
You're transitioning. It's okay.
Yeah, fast transition just a tiny bit.
So
Started.
I had no trouble getting the name I wanted on Classic, because I was there. I mean, we were all there day one. Nobody took BML. I was really excited about that. And I was an enhancement shaman for a long time, and then we started raiding, and it was after, I want to say, I don't remember which guild with this was in. I'm trying to remember if it was before or after the release of Blackwing Lair, but basically I wasn't a very strong DPS because no enhancement shaman is, and the guild was telling me that they really wanted me to respec into healing, and they basically gave me an ultimatum. They're like, all right, respec to resto or you're benched. I'm like, actually, I'm out. So I left. And then I respec to resto.
I'll give you option 3.
I'm out. Fuck off.
That was your guild is like YOU''RE guild is butts in their Discord. Like that was all I said. I just said your guild is butts in their Discord, and then G quit. Like, and then I respect anyway because it was easier to find a new guild as a healer. Like, that was kind of weird. I mean, leveling as enhancement shaman was really fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is because I mean, all the utility makes you a really good survivor. It makes questing pretty manageable. You have all this, you can cleanse poison, you can kite stuff, you can trap stuff, you can put down area of effect.
One
You
shot
pretty
of
good
bitch.
out. Yeah, but then you get into the raid scene and you're like, you can't keep up with anyone in there. So like, you're not really doing much.
I have
But I have
had
seen
a
some
lot
extra.
of
Go
yeah. Sorry,
bomb.
Stan. I was just gonna say I've had a lot of fun with Classic WoW. I'm so glad they did it. The release of it and leveling my hunter was the most pure and fun part for me. However, I want to say that the next funnest part for me was making an enhancement shaman and PvPing with Cameron on his rogue in like the Badlands.
Dude,
And
we
just
ruled
like
the Badlands.
we just farmed the Badlands, dude. It was so fun because as an enhancement shaman, I could one shot like cloth and leather workers. If I got lucky enough, I could just literally, they would be standing there and then they're fucking gone. And I love that.
And we had a
It's
good
so
job of,
satisfying.
if someone tried to run away, like you could slow them and I could sprint and catch them. Like there was just
Yeah, we
kinda
had
worked
good
together pretty
synergy.
well. Yeah.
So
Do you remember when we went? Do you remember when we ran to? Do you remember when we chased that one human mage into Loch Modan and kept fighting like inside Loch Modan in
Yeah.
the fucking city?
Try to go to the yeah, I remember exactly. It's that weird like encaved like town, and he tried to go to the whatever. Like you're not getting away from us because we stood a chance against the guards, although we were like 45 or something like that.
So what happened was I would die, but I would spawn in. I could respawn, and I had like 2 seconds. So I would, and Wind Fury stays on through death, which is actually really nice. So I would spawn in and just Wind Fury him, just one. I would respawn in like I'm a ghost, right? And I spawn in just right on him, one shot him, and then the whole town would kill me. But hey, I still one shot him, dude.
Yeah,
I got what I wanted.
We'd be like, all right, we're gonna get this guy first, and I would like jump off my mount, stealth. You would have jumped off your mount already, and then you get that lucky fucking Wind Fury crit ×3, and then just drop it. Like, okay, I guess I'll fight the next guy. Like, it's not
I
even worth it.
remember at one point, Cameron, you stopped. I noticed this. You never said it, but I just noticed it. You stopped going after like the first target that I was on because I would usually just fucking kill it before you would get there. So it made more sense for you to go on some. However, with plate people, I don't think I ever could one shot like a. I don't think I ever one shot like a shaman or a warrior that was my level.
We never had to fight shamans. Come on.
Dude, oh, true. I meant warriors or fuck. I meant hunters or warriors. Paladins are fucking unkillable though. That honestly, paladins in retail or in classic. I can't talk tonight. In classic are so like unkillable. It's crazy.
Phosphorus having technical difficulties along with everything else.
So I never really had fun with the PvP mechanics just because I never felt that confident in the game to go fighting other players. I normally got wiped. But after I was kind of getting bored of the raid scene on my shaman and I wanted to level something else, I started leveling mage, and I decided to go AoE frost mage. And I really, really liked the AoE mechanic there. I thought that was really, really cool. There are a lot of neat things in that game that are really fun. And that was like my satisfying, unique, like spin-off character after my main character, kind of. I remember, so I found a place in the Badlands that I would go and I would farm rock elementals. And it's so satisfying. You can blink, kite a few of them, grab like 3 of them, frost nova them, blink away, nova them again, or blizzard is the AoE attack.
Yeah.
You just trap them, gather as many of them as you can, trap them, run away, cast blizzard until they all die. And if any of them get close, just press 5 until they die.
Yeah.
The
an
summary of
explosion.
what Stan just said is that he hits everybody in the area. Mages OP,
Mhm.
broken the game, and he broke the game.
Dude,
He made it easy mode.
I loved purging a mage shield and one-shotting him though. Like that
So-
that shit got me like
Here's
fully
my,
torqued.
Boys, we are in a WoW stream.
I know.
We're not a
I'm
WoW
not
stream.
trying
Could
to. I'm
be.
not trying to kill. I'm not trying to kill Zidane. So let's just move on
I feel we're
because
killing Zidane. That's why.
I know it's fucking.
And our viewers, we're sorry. We apologize. Technical
honestly, so like for the viewers' sake, for a lot of people, like even when I don't play WoW, I actually love looking up stuff about WoW because it is such a good game. So I feel like people who don't maybe even play WoW, I do think listening to other people talk about it, they usually find some sort of enjoyment.
right.
Maybe that's just me speaking from personal experience. Zidane hates it. I get that. But like everyone else, like I understand, man. Like honestly, I would advise nobody to ever play World of Warcraft ever.
I'm on the opposite side. I think everyone should give it a shot just to see what it is because it's. I
No,
have friends
because
who
then
play
they're
it.
gonna be fucking playing it for a
That's not-
decade, Cameron.
Okay, that's not true. I know people who don't play it anymore, but I have friends who played it who didn't play any other video games. They just played that one game and it was their favorite game.
Mhm.
If they have shit willpower like me, they'll play it forever. Go ahead.
No. It's just a really fun game, and kind of like you, I just come back. Like you gave me an excuse to come back, so I came back. So it's really, really fun.
Shit. Here we go
Here
again.
we go again. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have, I gotta say though, I do really appreciate it when we kind of go off on our little tangents here in the podcast. It kind of shows the viewers and everything a little more like
This
a
is
little
how
more or less unscripted. Just kind of like how we are and everything like
Yes.
that. So
we
it's
are totally
definitely a good
scripted
thing.
here on 8-Bit Opinions. We record everything.
We
prior.
are not that scripted. Trust me. Like
this is a script right now.
Not
We
even
wrote this part.
close.
We wrote this part.
Cameron,
Shut up.
I already knew what he was gonna say. I knew
Shut
that.
up.
I'm not a fan.
You
We have a teleprompter behind our monitors.
Yeah, it's right above my camera. I just
We actually have a fifth guy who is typing as we speak, like a law firm person. They
Mhm.
type really fast. Come on, guy, pick it up. Hurry.
All right. Oh yeah. See, I'm getting the prompt now, so I know
Yeah.
what's next to say. I know the next topic that I'm gonna bring up because it's coming
Alright.
up on the teleprompter.
Hey,
in front of me.
Cameron, my prompter says you're a fucking loser.
Mine's telling me it's Christmas.
Oh God, shut up. Yeah, such a horrible song.
Anyways, boys. So the first thing that
Fucking
I
loser.
wanted to bring up is that's toxic, Stanley.
I love it, man. I fucking love it.
Her.
So, as you guys know, the exciting so like the PS5 and like the new Xbox have like come out and everything, blah blah blah.
I feel like buying
Um,
one.
Yeah, if you feel like buying one, go ahead and buy one on eBay for $12,000, new PS5.
12,000.
But dude, I actually no, I'm not. That's not like that's not like a joke. I actually saw one posted on there for roughly that amount. It was like $12,500.
People are dumb.
I've seen them on Craigslist around here for like 1,200.
So, first thing I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about, I just kind of want to pick your brain for a second. I'm gonna start with Zidane since we like.
You don't have to start with me. It's fine.
I want to start with you because I feel like I want to give everyone a chance to talk.
Nobody
much
puts
as I
Zidane in the
can.
corner.
Yeah.
No one puts a
Um,
baby in the corner.
You're my baby.
Love that. I just kind of wanted to know like your guys' opinion, pick your brains about like I guess like the new consoles, how you feel about the new consoles, both of them. Do they stack up well against each other? Blah 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 blah. Just go ahead.
Zidane.
He's
first.
waiting for the teleprompter.
Oh.
Yeah, Cam is
Give
a
him a
fucking loser. I don't know the technical specs, so it's hard for me to say if I know whether or not they stack up well against each other or not.
Can I say something real quick?
Go for it, by all means.
That just reminded me of. I just wanted to put this in there real quick because you reminded me of it. So I would say that this console is so think about the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2. Think about the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3. And now think about
Say.
okay.
It's okay. But no, that's what
Um
it's gonna be.
Okay, well, it's just
Yeah,
Zidane just reminded me of it. So like, this is the lowest like upgrade, right, that we've ever seen. Uh, um,
the jumping.
graphics and like, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cameron. Go ahead.
So
Take it.
jumping, like if you look at the PlayStation 1, like at the end of the PlayStation 1 era, they added an extra joystick and that made it pretty immersive. But the other big jump from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 was how crazy different the graphics were,
Huge
how much
jump.
better. Huge jump. And then you went from the 2 to the 3, and it's like, yeah, early PS3 games looked about as good as a PS2, like a good PS2 game. So it didn't feel as big, but in general, it was pretty dang big. And then the 3 to the 4 was kind of like, okay, like, we're getting there. But I was an Xbox guy, really. I used PS2 and then Xbox 360 and then PlayStation 4 is
Same
my way I went. So, like, from the 360 to the PS4, I was not just blown away like you would have been blown away from like a PS1 to a PS2. And that was really what I wanted to hit on. It was just I don't think that this PS4 to PS5 jump seems as crazy. Like Donkey, shout out, video game Donkey did a video
He's like
today,
one of my favorites.
and that was like one of the things he kind of talked about on there. And I didn't really even think about it until I saw that video, and I said, "Yeah, like I totally agree with you." And he's a really just silly, joking guy. And one of the things he put up a Witcher screenshot, and he's like, "All right, on the left side is the 1080p, and on the right side is the 4K image." He's like, "Which one looks better?" And then he just like removed the line in editing. He's like, "It's actually just a 1080p screenshot," and it looked fine. I was looking at it on my phone, so it's not like I could tell anything, but it was just really funny, and I totally agree. I don't know if I definitely don't care as much because when the PS4 first came out, I was a big into console stuff, but only like maybe 6 months of it, and then I started getting into computers. So, my computer, I think, is already better than a PS5. It's actually better than PS5. And then, if I upgrade in 2 years, it's gonna be better than whenever the PS5 Pro or whatever comes out. It'll probably be better than the next gen console. So, like, the upgrades on computer, I feel like are almost more gradual than the big spikes that you would have gotten on older consoles. But now the console upgrades are gonna become gradual, kind of like computers, but over a longer period of time. I feel like the gradual increase on PCs is 2 years. The increase on consoles is like 6 to 7 years.
Maybe that's for the benefit of consoles now because there's not like things are so good right now that it's going to take a while before we can actually reach that next really good graphical or I'm trying to think of other terms for it, but I'm sorry, but like
That next
ne-
peak.
yeah, exactly. So maybe that's actually kind of working in consoles' favors for that because there is such a long jump between those things. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here.
One more thing I want to throw out that's kind of, in my opinion, a bunch of bullshit with how big games are right now. Like the new Call of Duty's like 200, 300 gigs. I think it's like 280 to
Yes.
300 gigs. It's
Don't
insane.
get me started on that, bro.
It's insane. Well, last generation, I know that 500 gigabytes was kind of the in general like what you got when you got the console, but I think they released 1 terabyte consoles. Well,
Yeah.
this new gen, yeah, they put a terabyte. Oh, we put an SSD in it. It's gonna be so fast. You hear those computer gamers talking about their SSDs. Well, it's a terabyte. My boot drive on my computer is a terabyte just to put other random shit on there. Like the consoles should have had more storage or given the option
100%.
to do
They,
like what
they,
game
they do have
PC
expandable.
they do, but there's not something that's like represented. They don't highlight that really. Like, yeah, they have their own first party expandable hard drives, but they're not going to rep that. They're going to say, hey, listen, if you want to put the new Call of Duty on here and the old Call of Duty, sorry, but you're not playing anything else unless it's under 10 gigs. And that's
All
just
right.
it. We have the
So-
option to slap a 6 terabyte hard drive into our computers and have 100
Yeah.
games. It's so much easier, or you're not easier, but it's easier to upgrade.
And this is a little different, a little off topic, but I mean, it's related to what you just said. But like, I'm honestly thinking about not getting Cold War because of how fucking ridiculous and big these Call of Duties are. Like
Yes.
I think it's a really good game, man, and I could easily put it on my computer, but like I do not like that is ridiculous in my opinion, man. It's too much. It's too much. They're asking too much from me for me to like play their game.
I have Modern Warfare
I
installed.
would agree.
I agree too, but I already have Modern Warfare installed. I'm gonna uninstall that bitch, install the new one, and it'll just replace all that storage that's already taken up.
It's practically the same fucking game anyway. So
Maybe a little bit, but we got some new.
no,
maps.
there's no maybe little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
I'm being a pro gamer here, boys. I'm gonna play me some new Call of Duty. I'm sorry.
You get the new Madden too.
Heck yeah, you know me. I love me some sport.
So we were talking about storage there, and I kind of want to highlight this for a second because I think it's important how you were talking about the expandability of computers and whatnot. It looks like the PS5 is actually going to be able to do that with the expandable storage. It's the NVMe SSD slot. It doesn't specify how large it can be, so you can just pretty much however much money you want to spend, because those aren't cheap, is how much storage you can get. Whereas for the Xbox Series X and S, it's only a 1 terabyte expansion card. It will match exactly what is in the base. So you're only going to get up to 2 terabytes storage on them.
I don't like that.
That's messed up. So on the PS5, is it? I see the idea of having like an extra thing that just dangles off the back of my console seems really unattractive to me.
It's probably
Or
goes. I think it goes in it
or-
somewhere.
That was what I'm gonna ask. Even just the idea of like, you know, something that looks like a memory card sticking out of the front of that, like we're past that. Come on. So like even the PS2 had like that slot in the back you were supposed to be able to slide some into. So is there a spot on the PS4 that you can like slide like a hot swappable SSD into?
I don't know, but if anything, it would kind of snap onto the side of it or something. I've seen add-ons where they would like plug into the front 2 USBs and it would kind of wrap around the side. And then I know on the Xbox One, there was like an expansion port on the side, kind of like how the arcade didn't come with hard drives. So then you would put the hard drive on, it would kind of shimmy out a little bit, then go straight, just stick out an extra like inch.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. Hopefully,
Okay.
yeah. I agree. I don't want to just. It's on my entertainment center. That's something that you like display in your home.
Yeah.
So you would want it to look, clean.
Aesthetic.
Aesthetic. You don't want wires coming off of it and kind of ruining the image. So that's where I think the new Xbox, I don't even know what it's called. Because if you lay that thing on its side, it's going to be really tall, unlike anything else that you would have sitting down there if you set it up right. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have a pretty specific entertainment center to be able to fit that thing standing up.
Weird side note here: the internal storage of the PS5 is 825 gigabytes.
See, that's
I was gonna say when Cameron said it was a terabyte, I was gonna interject and say like I actually don't even think it's that big.
Why?
So, yeah.
Why so specific? Why not a terabyte? Like, what the fuck?
It's so badly written that it takes up that much space.
So yeah, I was going to ask, so is that the actual physical capacity of the disc, or is that just what you get after Sony takes their cut?
The specs I'm looking at, it says custom 825 gigabyte SSD.
So maybe it's 800 and whatever, like physical capacity, and then you're still taking like system space off the top of that.
Interesting.
And then, a couple software updates, oh, sorry, you gotta download, 3 different 50 gigabyte day one patches.
So if you didn't have external storage on the PS5, if you got Cold War, that's well over half of your storage.
And Modern Warfare.
What is that mess gonna look like? So imagine this particular type of dystopia. You uninstall Modern Warfare, and then you go to install Cold War. You go install the 350. There's like a 45 gigabyte day one patch. You do that. You go to launch the game. PlayStation's like, no, your version of PlayStation OS isn't up to date. You gotta update PlayStation before you can launch this. So you update. Then there's another update for Cold War. So after you do all that, and then after all that, there's not enough space on your hard drive to do the next patch for Cold War. So you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even want this game. I don't want to play it. This is another thing. So you go back, you download Modern Warfare again, and then like, do you have to get the day one patch for that again? Is that going to be the endless cycle?
Yes.
So you're-
Like
Yes,
that's
it
what it's
will.
going to be like to manage your games on the PlayStation 5. It's like, all right, well, you can uninstall that and uninstall something else, but if you ever want to play that again, you're starting over.
You're missing a very key factor here. You got little Timmy who's 13, 14 years old who understands that. He doesn't have space. He's uninstalling and he's reinstalling and moving all these games around, and he's not doing it off a disc because his parents bought him the cheaper digital edition. Well,
Which is
give it a month.
$399.
Yeah, give it a month. Dad's gonna come down for a fucking ass whooping because the kid ran up the internet bill by an extra
Yeah,
2 terabytes.
that's what I was gonna bring up.
The different Call of Duties 4 times this month, and it charged the family, an extra $300 on their bill. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so happy you said that, Karen, because what I was gonna say, and I had brought this up the other day, but like, some people are capped on like their internet and stuff. So like Call of Duty, that's another reason I'm pissed off at Call of Duty. Like, so you're asking these people who might be data capped to download your fucking 300 gig game? How about you fuck off real quick, pal? Like, honestly, like it's almost insulting to those people. Like,
What's an average data cap? I mean, I know mine before I told them to fuck off and upgrade me was 1 terabyte.
so
Mine
I
is
wanted,
300 gigs.
geez, Stan. So you could download Call of Duty once a month.
Yeah.
yeah.
I get 1 Call of Duty a month.
What's your data plan? I one Call of Duty.
See, that's another unique problem because think of the trend of diskless or streaming based game delivery systems. So like this is going to be a disaster this holiday season for all the people around here who are on Mediacom's cheapest internet plan or whatever. They go buy their kid the new PS5. They're like, oh, this one's $50 cheaper because it doesn't have the disk drive, whatever. Oh man, you're going to regret that because now your kid's going to use like 400 gigabytes a month downloading updates to Minecraft and new versions of Call of Duty and like the endless loop of installing high def shaders that is playing
High
whatever.
def shaders.
It really, like every time you launch
Yeah.
that fucking game, it's like installing high def shaders. Like, you want to continue without him? Am I not running? Well, yes, fuck off.
Yes, I never installed them. I hit max level and some more a couple times in the previous one,
Yeah.
and I never once installed the stupid shaders.
Mm.
Oh, it pissed me off.
Like it's never done installing. Like, it just keeps going forever. You're always
I
downloading
don't think it's
something.
real.
This is actually just a big conspiracy. The internet
I
companies
just-
paid Call of Duty to make their games really inflated large.
You can upgrade to 3 Call of Duties though if you pay $90 a month. You can get 3 Call of Duties a month.
But I mean, don't you?
I don't want to
you
go too far down this tangent, but data caps are such like tomfoolery. Like that's just such absolute bullshit. That's not how internet works. Like there's
always so
not
much
like a
internet
well of
bandwidth,
gigabytes somewhere.
Yes,
There's not
there
a
is.
bucket.
There's only so much, pal.
a limited supply of gigabytes that you may have. Please,
Listen here,
my
have
eyes
some
telling me.
more.
That's like
I need more, sir.
I hate that so much. Like it literally just does not even make sense. It's just a bullshit way to charge more money
It
for
is.
basic service.
Yep, it is.
But that's just such a fucking disaster. Going towards
is.
this, like,
It is.
that's going to be a big problem. I used to feel that way when I was trying to play games growing up as a kid, playing on my Xbox 360 out at home where I didn't have internet, or I had internet, but I had satellite internet. So it was capped and it was way too high latency to ever play. And sometimes it just felt like a slap in the face. Like, all right, here's your new console. But I mean, fuck you. It doesn't really work for you, but that's fine. You can't use all the cool features that everyone else is using. Like, it was really a pain in the ass to get DLC, and then there were all these games coming out, and that was just the focus of it. Like, imagine a kid today who wants to, like, who lives rurally, who's on satellite internet, who wants to play Call of Duty on Christmas Day this year. That's not happening.
Hey, Stan, real quick, Cameron. So Stan, one of my friends, so I live like kind of like you guys in I used to live in like a rural area when I was growing up.
Mhm.
In Soda Springs, like population like 3,000 in Idaho. And I had a friend who lived way out. So like he couldn't, and he was a big gamer. He was as much into games as me, but exactly what you said, like he didn't have that ability to play with us a lot of the time unless we did LAN. Like he couldn't play online or anything, or like download the newest DLC or patches. He would have to, yeah, a lot of times he would come over to my house and we would do it, right? Because he didn't have that privilege, which I don't know, it's just something everyone should have
Yeah.
because
Today's standards,
he
it's a basic right now.
I 100% I agree. That's kind of what I was getting at, Zidane. Yeah. It should be.
It should be.
In today's
It's
world.
not treated that way.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's like it's almost as dumb
I
as
feel
like
bad for him, man.
cell phone. Well, it's like remember when cell phones providers used to charge you by minutes and calls? Like honestly, still not how that works. Like the infrastructure's there.
Only so many
Yeah,
minutes we can talk on the phone.
There's only so many.
May I have
There's
some
only so
more,
many.
please.
Like when Albert Einstein invented text messages, he only made this many.
Yeah. Someone touch my minutes.
Yeah.
Somebody touching my spaghetti. Cameron, were you gonna say something?
Yeah. So, well, when they released, remember how shit the Xbox One launch was? The
Yeah.
guys just kept saying the dumbest shit and digging themselves in the hole with DRM and a bunch of other stuff. Well, they were talking about all this like online capabilities it had, and someone like asked the question like, "Well, what about people without internet or like slow internet?" And they're like, "Well, then you guys have the Xbox 360." Like, do you remember that? They just
I don't remember this now.
shut them down. They were like, "Then that's what the Xbox 360 is for."
You
Like,
don't matter.
yeah, you don't matter. We're not worried
Right.
about you getting your new console. We're just worried about, everyone who has internet. Screw you.
We only care about the market who will be able to buy
right.
microtransactions.
Exactly.
So guys, like not to get you're making a good point there, Sam, but like not to get too sappy, but like again, just to reiterate, like
Somebody touching my
so like
minutes.
my spaghetti. But like all right, relax, Zidane, relax. So when I was growing up, like, and even now, like gaming is like the most important thing that, in my opinion, has like ever happened in my whole life. It's made me into like who I am. So like I feel really bad for any kid that like doesn't have that capability in their life, dude. Like if you actually don't like my friend and like other people out there, like yeah, like you when you were growing up, like it's I honestly feel bad for those type of people because it was just such an important thing to me. So yeah, I mean that's something that should, I don't know, it should be fixed, I guess. I honestly, until this podcast, I had never really thought about this. So I'm glad that we brought that up, I guess.
Here's some 8-bit opinion lore here. Because Foz said, the internet was a big part of him, like growing up. Well, none of us in real life, everybody here except Fozman have met. I don't know if we've talked about this before. I've known Foz for like what, 14 years or something crazy like that. That sound right? 12, like I feel like it's like 12, 13, 14 years. A long time.
14 sounds very accurate.
Yeah, so a long time. Me and this dude have talked consistently. We definitely talked a lot more in the last year and a half, like as we did when we were kids and we just met. But we'd always like
2 years because when I started college. Go ahead.
Right. It warms my heart. But like even then, like I'd log on to WoW and he'd be on WoW randomly. I wouldn't play WoW that night. We would just talk to each other. Like, so it's awesome that I always considered him one of my best friends regardless, but now like he's one of my best friends definitely again. And the internet did that. They allowed us to like jump together. I don't even remember what point I was bringing this to.
It's because I was just saying, Cameron, how like it was so important to me. Like, yeah.
So the kids who didn't get it, the kids who don't get to experience that, like I do feel sorry for them because like there's connections you make online that
for better or worse.
You can't even explain. And like we're planning on a trip this summer, and Foz might come, and it's gonna be cool as heck to meet him, like to meet somebody that
That'll be so surreal, man.
Right?
That would be so surreal to see. I was talking to Peyton about this. Like, it would be so surreal to like like actually look you in the actual
I'm a
eyes,
husband.
dude. I
I'm a
don't know.
husband. But so whenever me and Foz were playing Halo 3 back in the day, playing online, well, I had this buddy who lived out in the country, and I mean, satellite internet was probably a thing then, like back in junior high, but it was definitely not good. Like I think you can maybe game slowly on satellite now. Yeah, the latency to go to
Still
space
no.
and back is not good.
No way.
Hey,
Yeah, either way. So the kid never got to enjoy it. They just didn't have internet at all. So he would come to town sometimes and stay at my house, and we would play Halo. And I'm sure that at some point he played on the game with Fosman, and we would just play zombies. And dude, he was hooked. He was not a video game guy at all. But like when he played online, he was just like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen." So I remember when I first got my Xbox 360, my brother runs a really long cable all the way from the computer all the way to my
Yep.
Xbox 360, plugs that bad boy in the living room. He goes, "All right, well, we can play this for like a week before our time runs out." They gave us a week for free, and I was like, "To do what?" And at the time, I had only run around on like RuneScape and his account when he'd let me play on his World of Warcraft, and then he puts a headset on me, puts me in a game of big team battle in Halo, and I can hear people talk, and I'm like,
What is
Dude,
going
it.
on?
what? And then I was hooked. That was probably where video games took control of my life, and
And then the week ran out, and you had to go out and buy one of those
Oh, I
30 to 60.
I was like, "Here, mom, I'll mow
Day
the lawn.
cards from
What do I need
Walmart.
to do? What do I need to do?"
Dude, I used to buy. So obviously, like nowadays, I just use my credit card. I buy subscriptions to WoW. I buy subscriptions to. Well, I don't have an Xbox one right now, but mine had just ended recently. In fact, this month. But like, anyways, my point is, I buy all that on my credit card now. But I remember back in the day, I would always buy the physical cards, man.
Oh, for sure. I remember that
Get the
too.
codes and everything. I would get the
Buy
1600 Microsoft point like
That's exactly.
for DLC. Yep.
Yeah, you had to go out and you had to go buy something for DLC. I'm sure at the time there was something implemented if we were adults and had debit cards or
We
Mhm.
could have done it for
we would
sure.
use debit cards. We could have done it, but you're right. I'd be like, "Mom, I really need you." And they didn't trust you to put their credit card on you or let you type it in. So like, "Okay, we're gonna go get you 3 months at a time." Or I remember time. Oh,
No,
that was
I was always like, Cameron, I was always like, Mom, we'll go to no, Mom, we'll go to Walmart, we'll get a card. You don't even have to worry about your card. We'll just buy. You can bring cash if you want. Like
I just got hit with a wave of nostalgia. I remember because we were kids and you get it 3 months at a time, unless someone like got it for Christmas and they got it for a year because someone would fork up the 50 or $60 or whatever. But we'd run out like in the middle of the game. We wouldn't know. We'd be like, "No, like it's just the start of the night," and everyone would be messaging everybody else on Xbox 360, your whole friends list. "Listen,
do you have
guys,
a 48 hour? Do you have
do you have a 48 hour? Do you have a 48 hour, dude? I need it.
I need my fix, bro. I need my
need it.
fix.
Oh my
We can get
god.
started. I need the next 48 hours to make it through the weekend, please."
Bro, and then your buddies would like they would check the fucking game discs. They'd
get,
like
like,
open them up, be like, "Oh fuck, I got one here from Gears of War, bro. Here you go."
But you get like 5 different ones. Like, I don't know if it's gonna work, and you just go through hoping. You get one, it doesn't work. You go to the next one. Please, come on, nothing, and then finally,
Zidane.
You want to know who didn't have to worry about that?
people who played on the computer before it was cool.
Not only that, people who owned a PlayStation 3 because it's
Because-
fucking
yeah, you're
free,
Oh, yeah, this
like
is
it
foreign
should
language.
be.
So
No.
yeah, that's
But now it's not.
Xbox ruined it for everybody.
Now
Yep.
it's not because they.
I hate that if you pay for our subscription, you get a free game. No, you don't get a free game. I could subscribe to Humble Bundle, like you subscribe to PlayStation Plus, and I can get 6 free games a month. You know
I
what I mean? And I don't need that to play online. Also, like that's some big BS. It's not free games because if you don't have that sub, you don't have the game.
Well, back in the PlayStation 3 era, it was free.
You can still get PlayStation Plus though in the PS3 era and get those free games.
Hey, so what about Nintendo right now? Like with the Switch, where are they at with online play?
It's
Super cheap online.
It's like
but
$10
really
a
bad.
month.
I think it's even cheaper than
Isn't
that.
it
No,
like
it's
scuffed
oh,
or
it's
something
$5. It's
like that,
$5.
though?
It's $5 a month. I pay it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me about that a little?
I don't really know a lot about it. I've never had any problems with it. What did you say it was super scuffed, Cam?
Yeah, that's the only thing I've ever heard. Like the servers kind of suck. Like they don't have features. Like their friends list kind of thing is still like, here's the code you can type in to get my friend. Like you
Yeah,
can't search
that's
username.
yep.
And then like you don't have a profile or anything. I don't think there's much name customization. And then
But
when you are in the game,
Nintendo's like never been really big on the whole like
exactly. So why should they put a fee up to use their online subscription if it's not up to par?
because I guess like they feel like they need to follow everybody else and charge for it.
See, I feel like that's going against Nintendo's like honor because they've never been that way. They've been couch co-op. If you want an online game, let's just add it on there for you. Unless they're gonna do something like add in voice chat, add in party features, messaging, other things with it. I think they should offer just base online play for free, like how X now. Because like Lizzie was talking about, she played a lot of Animal Crossing, and in Animal Crossing you can go to like other people's islands and view what they have built. And my buddy Jordan was like, "Dude, I want to come see what Lizzie's built, and she can come check out my stuff. Like I can help her out." And I said, "Cool. Well, give me your thing." And he goes, "Here it is, but you need to get the Nintendo Online." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna spend the $5 a month just so just to do for one little thing for one night." But it's like, what else do I get for $5 a month? I don't think anything other than the online play.
Yeah.
Well,
That's exactly it. Just the
at
online
least
play.
PlayStation, I just bashed, I bashed the free games or whatever. But it's like, it's silly that you even have to, play online. I think that enough people enjoy PlayStation Plus free games that they get them. I think that they would just pay the PlayStation Plus subscription to play it. You know what I mean? Why would you not? If a game's for free and then you have to pay more to play online, that's some BS. So like say Fortnite's free,
Mhm.
if I can't play Fortnite online on my console because I don't have the plus or the gold version, that's kind of screwed up.
Then
I don't know.
it's not free then.
It's not free. It's free to download that game, but it's not free to play it.
And
I don't know if that's
this
the
is why
case.
PCs are better.
But I don't know. It's not the total reason PC. There's a lot more reasons. But I don't know if that's the case though. If that is the case with those games, that is pretty fucked up.
Well, one of the 5,000 reasons
Yeah, it's
PCs
just
are better.
tack it on there. We're PC Master Race except Stan. He's a console gamer.
Yeah, that's right. He got himself a new PS4. Has been playing.
Coming to you from my PlayStation 4. I just sat it on my desk and plugged my mic and webcam into it.
It works just the same. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, it just works.
I wouldn't even have known.
It just works.
That's why his Discord's down. Stan broke it.
Thanks, Todd Howard. Well, I think we had some good discussion about consoles. Oh, that's right. So I had something else like in my notes I wanted to ask you guys about. So one of the, in my opinion, one of the most important things about a new console launch is the game titles that they have available at launch, the games that you can play. And I feel like, in my opinion, PlayStation has again done it better than Xbox. So I'm asking you guys to compare it for a second and kind of like what's your opinions on that, I guess.
Well, to be honest, I only know of one launch title, and that's the only launch title that you need to know of, and that is Demon's Souls for the PS5. Yep. It's the remake. Apparently, it's like a 1-to-1 copy of the first one with like some quality of life changes to it. So if you haven't played the one for the PlayStation 3, not a big deal because it's the exact same game.
Out, though. You could just go find a used PS3 on Craigslist for $150, spend the extra $15 at GameStop and get the physical edition and just play it, rather than paying $560 for a PS5 and the game. But no, that's what I was gonna say. If I were to buy one, I would buy it for Demon's Souls because
that is the only reason I would buy one.
I've played a little bit of Demon's Souls but never finished it because I do own it on the PS3.
I would say that the Demon's Souls would the correct term be remaster? Yeah.
It'd be a remaster. I wouldn't call it a remake because if it has the same combat physics.
A remaster is when you don't start from the ground up. Remake is like they remade it. It's from ground up.
But they didn't remake it, right? They use the same physics engine. They just have different graphics.
Okay. So I would say most people who have a PS5, that is one of the main reasons they bought it for sure.
Oh, it looks freaking awesome. I think it looks better than Dark Souls 3, like, and Sekiro.
That was such a good move on Sony's part. Holy shit.
Had to, yeah. I mean,
Because Demon Souls, so like like Dark Souls has been remastered, but Demon Souls is old and scuffed, and now it's like remade. Like it's such a smart move because people love the Dark Souls genre, and this is like one of the purest forms of it. So it's such a good move. That's my bottom line.
right, but Dark Souls itself is old and scuffed as well. The difference in this upgrade, okay, so in Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 1, the upgrade in graphics is like only 20% as much as the upgrade in graphics from Demon Souls to the remaster. Because like if you go back and look at Demon Souls and then
It looked way better than number 2, man.
what I'm
Which
saying
doesn't have a remaster. Do you see what I'm saying? So like Dark Souls 2
the remastered Demon Souls looks better than any Souls game that's ever been released.
right.
But if you look at Demon Souls side by side with Dark Souls 1 regular, they almost look the same because they both look like shit. But
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1 remastered also kind of looks like shit. But the Demon Souls remastered does not look anything close to like shit. Like it's insane how much better the graphics look.
So
Like
maybe
if they would have done that with 1, it would have been insane for that remaster.
I kind of want to know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think the main thing was they they supplied higher resolutions and they supplied 60 frames per second, and that's about it with that remaster. It's a scuffed remaster compared to what we're getting with Demon Souls.
Okay, so my question, and this is for you, Zidane.
I just want to say one thing. It's not a remaster. It is a remake. I looked it up.
But doesn't have the same physics engine?
Remake.
Okay, so wait. What quantifies? So we need to set some ground rules here real quick. What quantifies a remaster? What quantifies a remake? I just want to be like crystal clear for everyone, like for us four and everyone who's listening. Go ahead.
I want to start because I just got off this. I think a remaster would be to just make the graphics better and to look better with maybe a tiny tweak in controls. A tweak. I think a remake is when you just kind of revisit the whole franchise, and it's like the Resident Evil 2. I think that is a remake. Like it plays a whole lot different. Like it sticks to the core concepts, but it's 100% a different physics engine.
Well, and it's 3D, so like they made a whole new map.
Exactly, but it sticks to the original. Like it's 100%. You played that game and you played the original one, you would get the same concept between the two. Like you wouldn't have to play. You could play one or the other interchangeably, basically.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
But they've changed something major to make it feel like a whole new game. So I think a remasters graphics with the graphics and a slight tweak to controls just to better the game. A remake is like a whole new setting. Like not a whole new setting, but a whole new feel.
Okay, so then is the Crash and the Spyro trilogies, are those remakes or remasters?
Those would be remasters, right?
Do they play the exact same? Is it the exact same story and feeling and physics engine?
Can't answer that question.
Yeah, I can't answer that question either.
No, so I've seen like gameplay of them. So like they're the exact same as like the one on the original PlayStation. It just looks better.
Right. So I feel like a remaster, if I had one controller playing the original and the remaster, and they just looks the exact same at the exact same time, I would be able to beat the game without swapping or changing something between the two.
I don't know the correct answer, but every source I find on the coveted World Wide Web is telling me that it is a fucking remake.
But to me, it doesn't seem like one because I thought it does the exact same thing the original did. I thought it even had the same physics engine and played just like the original. It's just that the graphics were phenomenal for a remaster.
I have heard that as well because they were trying to keep it as Because if they're gonna sell, like they're selling this as like one of their, they're using it as one of their selling games for the new console, so they're keeping it close to the original Demon Souls because people have such an appreciation for the Dark Souls genre now. Go ahead.
So you were mentioning the launch title for the PlayStation 5. Can anybody say a launch title for the Xbox?
Watch Dogs Legion.
Damn it!
Cool.
Damn it.
No, I was kind of that's literally the only one I know, Zaydin, because it's such a joke. It's so bad. Like the Xbox launch titles, it's like the weakest. You know, it's interesting because in my opinion, and I used to be kind of like, I guess you could say everyone here, maybe except Zidane, I was a pretty big Xbox guy for a long time. I always thought that the Xbox 360 had really good games. That's part of the reason I liked the Xbox 360 so much. It literally has my favorite game of all time as an exclusive on it, Mass Effect. So it's disappointing to me when I see that the new Xbox has such a weak lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So wasn't one of the features of the 360 launch, the 360 Arcade Edition, which was like the slightly cheap. So that was like a launch day console bundle that was a little bit cheaper. It was basically like the budget holiday option, and it came with like basically a pretty good assortment of games, like I think a memory card and 2 controllers. It was like the perfect holiday gift that year.
Sure, still just one controller.
Was it? I don't know. But I mean, it was a really cool starter deal. Really,
I can tell you're trying to get at something, Stan. What are you trying to get at with that?
Just contrasting the difference, because like, you know, Xbox 360's launch, they understood that, like they knew that, you know, the games make the platform. You got to have games. They combine that to really sell the console in a really effective way. And then now it's like, okay, there's a new Xbox. What's it do? What's the big deal? I mean, see, I remember, this is another thing. This is super 2008 of me, or 2007. I remember going to Target and seeing like stacks of Xbox 360 Arcade Editions like in the cases. That's not happening now. You can't even go to Target today anyway. You can't get your hands on these new consoles anyway. Like, it's all just such a schlop. It's like, hey guys, there's a new console. Nobody can buy it. And I mean, if you do get your hands on one, there's like one game to play that's new. And you might have to download it first, because if you save the $50, you just bought a $60 case with a key in it.
Exactly. That's what I hate.
Bought it. Yeah, I have like a collection of PC games that are just yeah. And then we're back in the,
you know, that's kind of a good point, Stan. Like real quick, like I remember they had like the, and maybe that was a marketing, like making money on Microsoft's part type deal, but I remember they had the Xbox 360 like arcade. They had the one with the 120 gigabyte hard drive, which was the Elite, I believe. And then there was one in the middle.
Like the regular one.
But now it seems like, well, and I think that goes back to what I said a couple episodes ago on the podcast about like how Microsoft isn't worried about having different consoles and selling different types of consoles. They're more so worried about selling their entire platform of gaming as a service. Which we've talked about before and everything and have debated, but like but my point is that I think that's why that is happening, and that's why yeah.
No,
I'm sorry.
I couldn't agree more. I think that is definitely their goal, and I think they already have a unique advantage in that they also own a lot of the desktop marketplace. I mean, Sony can't take their games and just set them on top of a PC as easy
That's
as
true.
Microsoft can. I think it's ridiculous that Microsoft hasn't thought of this earlier. I don't know why
Dude,
they've
right?
always I don't know why they were so hard fast, even when they were quite frankly stupid enough to try to force everybody into like the digital DRM delivery only gaming model with the Xbox One. They're like, all right, you can't share discs with your buddies anymore. Like
Except
they
one.
were still trying to sell you the kitchen sink with it. They're still trying to get you to buy the hardware appliance. When the whole time there's like this whole other market over here that's like, man, if you just let me play that game, I'd pay full price for it. You know, like just give it to me.
They're finally waking up, right, Stan?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I've been, honestly, man, that's what I've been saying for a long time as a PC gamer now, and that's why I appreciate that. I don't really want to get down that rabbit hole again because I know we've all talked about it before here.
Yeah.
Zidane, did you have something you wanted to get in there? I feel like
I just wanted to come back to the launch titles for the Xbox because I was going to list a couple of them off and see how excited everybody got.
this is gonna be good.
So we got Apex Legends. We got Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
That is so dumb.
Well, so these are all on current gen too, though, right?
Correct. So far, I've not seen.
So none of these are next gen exclusives.
It doesn't really look.
No,
Gears
because you
Tactics?
can play Apex. No, you can play that on PC.
Yeah. Are all of these games going to
play
be
that on the One as well? I want to play that game for the lore, actually. Sorry.
What game?
I want to play Gears Tactics for the lore because I appreciate Gears of War lore.
Okay.
So yeah.
Bright Memory 1.0, whatever the hell that is. Cuisine Royale, Dirt 5.
Ooh.
Enlisted, Destiny 2, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition.
Destiny 2? What the fuck?
Fortnite.
What year is it?
Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite, PogChamp.
And Gears 5, Metal Gear. That's not a thing. Mortal Kombat 11, NBA 2K21.
Let's go, baby.
No Man's Sky. Observer System Redux. So that's like a remake, I guess, I would assume, because Observer's already been a thing. Planet Coaster Council Edition. Sea of Thieves, and then it just kind of gets worse on from there on out.
That's insane. So they should have had Halo 5, 6?
Infinite.
Right?
Infinite. Well, that got pushed back because
why did they not push Infinite with the new console?
Right. Why didn't they push it until they had a few of them to sell? You know?
They introduced on all the boxes too.
I think that these consoles were also banking on Cyberpunk releasing next to them as well. I do think that.
Legion and Yakuza Like a Dragon. I don't think that's a console exclusive. So
no, they're not. Yakuza Like a Dragon is on the computer too.
So
it's on the
Xbox isn't looking too good.
That's pathetic, dude. That's absolutely pathetic. I'm gonna be real with you. That's fucking garbage.
But doesn't the Xbox play a shitload of backwards compatibility versus the PS5?
So the PlayStation 5, if I'm correct, I don't know this for certain, but you can play PlayStation 4 games, correct?
I can answer that.
I'm pretty dang sure.
I'm pretty dang sure you can as well. But you cannot play. What's a big setback for the PlayStation 5 is you cannot play. Dude, imagine if you could play. Imagine this for a second. If you could play PlayStation 2 games backward compatible on your PS5.
See,
would that not be hype?
Yeah, that would be so cool. But I feel like the Xbox One or the new Xbox, whatever the hell that thing's called, does have some crazy ass backward compatibility all the way back to like the PS or the Xbox, like the original.
Can someone look that up? And
we get a fact check in here, please.
Hey, wait, what is what's the name of Joe Rogan's guy?
Jamie.
Yeah.
What's his
Jamie.
name?
Hey, Jamie, can you go ahead and pull that up for us, please?
That's how little of that show I've ever watched.
I
So I'm on their site and it says Xbox backward compatibility games library. Play thousands of original Xbox, Xbox 360, and Xbox One games.
That is
Okay.
awesome right there.
Yeah.
So if I had, because like I said, I went
Is
from
that
PS2
all of them though, or are they blowing smoke? I'm sorry, Cameron.
It's-
but,
I think
like,
it's popular.
always like a certain library.
Yeah,
so like,
so
can I
Excuse
play?
me.
not every single one, but
Can
I think
play
they're
Time
working.
Check?
Probably if it's
Do you have
if it was a
you have to
popular
buy them
game,
though,
it
don't
works.
you?
Yeah, you have to like own it. That's what I'm saying. I still own
But
it.
do you have to
Fuck ton of
repurchase it,
PS2
or can
game.
you put
No.
the old game in
Can
there?
I
You put the
take
old
my
game
X-
in there.
I can take my
That's probably
Xbox
not
disc,
possible, right?
put in the Xbox Series, and it reads it, and it's like, hey, this
So
is
I
this
think
game.
what it does is it reads it, it knows it's that game, but then it downloads that game. So you're kind of using that as your, hey, I own this game, and then you get to
Mhm.
play it, which is awesome. So if the PlayStation did that, I'd almost go out and buy a PlayStation. I have so many PS2 games because when I was a kid, that was like, it went N64, GameCube, PlayStation, and like
Mhm.
that's what I played growing up, like those 3 consoles. And then the 360 when I was like older to get my own console, whatever.
PlayStation
So-
2 is the best-selling console of all time.
Yeah, I love the PlayStation 2, and that's probably the games. What I have the most games of is the PlayStation 2, or I don't know if you consider like Game Boys, like the 3DS, if that plays like original Game Boy games. I probably have the most amount of Game Boy games. But
Mhm.
side note, that would be so cool if I could sit down, play Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance with a wireless
Cool.
PS5 controller with a decent look, rather than having that crazy upscale on a 65-inch TV.
Well, I
I
don't
can-
think they would change the graphics, but you're talking.
No, no.
Oh wait, you're talking about just the.
Just
okay.
to like balance it, like maybe like fake upscale it to 1080p or 4K if it's because it can run that, just to look good. Because if you plug an old console into a really high resolution big TV, it looks weird as heck.
Mhm.
So built-in upscaling would be awesome. I know you can upscale with hardware off of the old consoles like the GameCube and stuff, but yeah, I think it'd be worth $500 to be able to go back and play my old stuff and have it not look like shit and play with a wireless controller and totally.
Zidane.
So I just want to mention one more thing about launch titles. So I switched over to the PS5, and there's 3 or 4 titles that stick out that aren't, shit. I mean, I guess not shit, but they're not
Mhm.
they're exclusive, I guess I should say.
Let's hear it.
Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yes, dude.
Godfall.
Okay.
I haven't heard
I-
much about that game. I
can
didn't know if it
we-
was good or not.
Can anyone actually? I just want to learn more for a second. Can anyone tell me more about this game? Because I've seen little things about it,
I
but
can't.
I cannot.
Okay. All right.
Godfall, Demon Souls, and I think that's it. But those are, I feel like,
Good.
3 games that I feel like would make people want to go out and buy this system versus Xbox's list.
I can play Apex Legends on the new Series X, Zidane. What do you mean?
I guess you're getting it. I guess you're getting the Xbox.
Oh man, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Bro. I'm not.
And whatever Astro's Playroom is for the PS5, no idea, but it.
So
it's
that
exclusive.
is. I know what that is. That's like the tech demo, I believe. I believe Astra's PS5 is the tech demo
So
for the new PlayStation, which I hear is like
super cool, right?
that's
Astrobot is
if
breaking.
I'm right about that though. Like it kind of like it's almost like it's almost like an introduction to your PlayStation, which a lot of consoles have done before.
It is. So I'm reading a little snippet of it here. The adorable Robo mascot is getting a game that takes full advantage of PS5's capabilities. So it comes pre-installed on the hardware. So if you buy PS5, it's on it. So maybe that's the 120 or 170 gigs.
That's the 150. That's the difference of the terabyte, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I heard that thing though is really cool. Like it shows you
Yeah.
like the original PlayStation 2 breakdown, and like you can earn like expansion parts for your PlayStation 2, but along the way there's like 99 Easter eggs from like previous PlayStation titles. Like at one point they have like because there's a little cutesy like PlayStation character avatar thing that's just like like a white body with a box
Same
head.
thing they kind of had on the other PlayStation.
Yeah, on the PS4.
Yeah.
And like one of them, instead of having like the traditional box head, had like the pyramid head. Like there's just like little Easter
that's
eggs
awesome.
throughout the whole thing as you learn about the PlayStation and see the graphics and all this other cool stuff. So I think it is a really cool little tech demo, and I like that they release tech demos with these new consoles. Like that's awesome.
I've always been a big fan of those. I feel like they're kind of underrated. It's kind of like a little niche, like fun part of when a new console comes out. So yeah, I guess our consensus from this is that
Xbox is trash.
Is that Xbox is trash and that PlayStation has a way better launch title if you were to compare the two. So if you're somebody who is into like into good games on a console, that sounds silly to say, but
I only like the worst games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to retort though and defend the Xbox though. That backwards compatibility is cool as hell.
If it works like you say it does.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know more about like what games are available for the new backward compatibility though.
I think it's a lot. It's not like you can pick up any game. I think again, this is all conjecture. Like I don't think you can just pick up any game, but like the bigger games, the ones that have like a bigger following, just work on it. Like you just download it and play it. I think that's cool. And then I want to say that I really enjoyed the Xbox controllers over the PlayStation controllers. So that's another thing it's got over the other console.
I don't have the biggest hands, so I kind of like.
Neither do I.
Also, hey, actually, one thing I'm glad you brought that up, and I remember on the podcast, Cameron has brought this up before, but the haptic feedback on the PS5 actually looks really fucking cool, and I feel like it's honestly a major, like Sony actually put a major selling point in their controller, and that's pretty big.
What is it? Do you know anything about it? Can you explain?
Cameron, you've talked about it before. Like, so I feel like you can explain it a little better than I can, but if you want me to, I can do it.
I don't think I know, but I'm pretty sure it's like they've increased it because I think the PS4 was the first version to have it. They had two stage. I don't think it was haptic feedback on the PS4. I think it was 2-stage. It knew that it pulled it in, and then there was a click. On these new ones, I'm pretty sure it has like a whole like scale of motion of like it knows how much you've pulled it in, and then like a definitive click. So it'd be much more smooth and non-resistant on the PS4, where it would just slowly go in. But then on the PS5, it senses it all the way.
More resistance.
It's more resistant until it gets to that clicking point. So let's say it's like it can track 10% all the way to 90%, and then at 90% there's like some resistance, and then there's like a definitive. All right, I clicked it into 100% click. Like you know when you're going to hit the final part of your resistance. That makes sense? Did I explain that correctly, Foz?
I would say so, yeah. The only other thing I can say is, well, it's just like people have, like people who have like demoed the new console, like they definitely say that they like feel. I don't know, man. Like if I could feel more, because when I play mouse and keyboard, you don't feel anything. You don't. You
except like a badass.
Well, yeah. All right, relax, pal. Relax.
Yeah.
But like,
I want my mouse to vibrate and my whole fucking keyboard to shake my dad.
No. But like, I all I can say honestly is that like if it actually does like feel like how these people make it sound, it would actually make gaming a lot more interesting, because imagine if you kind of had like a sensory feedback as you're playing a game. Well, that makes the game like that much more interesting. If you're holding the controller and you have like that input. I mean, I like the vibration. Like I kind of like what they're trying to do here, because I feel like it could be a big deal going down the road.
So That is another neat thing about the PlayStation 4 and 5 controllers. I just got a brand new PlayStation 4 controller, and I was just kind of goofing around with it on the PlayStation, and it had like the little tech demo on it too. So I played through that, and it walked through all the little features of the controller. I didn't know there was a speaker in there. There's a speaker and a motor, and the LEDs are neat, and it's got like the gyroscope and the pseudo touch panel thing. They're really neat controllers. They're interesting. They're sharp little things.
So I'm wondering now though, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Do any of the VR controllers have vibration feedback? Because that'd be like more immersive. So it's been a while.
Would
It's
it
been a
be?
couple months, I feel like, since I played VR. So if I shoot a gun, is there a feedback in it? And I don't know. I feel like maybe on the Index there is. So that's something super cool. Like I kind of
Cool,
miss
yeah.
like having that though. Like I'd almost be okay with it if my mouse had a very slight like vibration when I click to shoot a gun. You know what I mean?
That would be really cool.
I don't know why they haven't done that. Like
Let's make it happen.
Say that again, Cameron. I'm sorry.
I would be okay that like if my mouse did have like a slight vibration when I shot a gun in a game or something along the lines of that, like that wouldn't bother me because I kind of enjoy it on the controller. I'm not saying as
I don't know.
up as a controller, a little more subtle than that, but just a little bit. Because like not enough that it's gonna move my controller and make my sights go off. Because obviously you're not gonna be using your joystick anymore whenever your controller vibrates.
It's your whole hand, like on the mouse. You know what I mean?
I know,
So,
but
like,
just something to shake, not a whole fucking vibrate. Because you set a vibrating controller on a wooden table, it's gonna you're gonna hear
Yeah.
it. It's gonna be annoying. I don't want if my mouse was on my wooden desk, I would hear it like a phone vibrate level. Not.
I was just about to say
console.
that. Yeah.
Not a controller level. Like that's silly.
Yeah.
That'd be insane because that'd be enough to like throw you off your aim. Because you're not gonna get thrown off your aim when your controller vibrates on a controller because the way you aim is different and shit. If it does throw you off, your auto assist on console is gonna fix it.
Yeah.
The slight vibration that you get it.
I get so mad every time I get killed by some fucking auto assist nerd in a console game when I'm playing crossplay because they're fucking trash and they just fucking use the auto assist to kill me.
Sorry, I did not mean to offend you, Bosman.
Here's the real conversation.
Bro, I got no, listen. So I was playing with Peyton earlier. I got teabagged in Apex by this fucking console player because he uses aim assist and he thinks he's fucking hot shit because he hit left trigger and right trigger at the same time. What a fucking badass. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
I think you triggered Bosman.
I'm a little upset right now, not gonna lie.
Kind of think
Here's what we
I
need.
gotta rub my head for that one.
Here's what we need.
So I gotta channel my inner Wraith. So one thing, and I don't mean to curtail back to this, but like after Cameron was talking about the backwards compatibility on the new Xbox Series X, I actually looked into it more, and from what I see, he's actually correct. So there's actually a lot of really, really, really good backwards compatible titles on the Xbox that the PlayStation is just not accounting for, or they're not doing the same thing, right? So I looked at the original Xbox backwards compatibility things that you can play on the new console.
Mm-hmm.
There's Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original, not the shitty one. KOTOR 1 and 2, which I just got done playing a couple months ago. Best fucking RPG ever. Destroy All Humans, you can play.
But you have this
Ninja Gaiden.
Something.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Zaydin.
Go ahead, keep going.
Let me just list some off real quick that stand out to me. Ninja Gaiden, Morrowind, Psychonauts, Conquer Reloaded, SSX3, which is like that snowboarding game. Stan will appreciate this. Fusion Frenzy, all the Splinter Cell games, Black, which is a game I was super into.
I love
really?
Yep, it got all the bullets on the front, right?
Yes, yep. It's
Yep.
got like the platinum case and all the bullets on the front. The case I'm actually looking at here is different. So it's like, I don't know if any of you saw this one, but it's like it's almost like broken glass, and then like a rifle is coming through, and then it says black on the front. I had never seen that case before until I saw this, but
Sorry to interrupt, but Black is like a first-person shooter, but just a campaign, a war campaign.
Yeah,
That's all.
yep.
It's just guns. So
Yep.
continue.
Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, which is a really solid like.
Oh yeah, so good.
So what I'm saying, like Jade Empire. So what I'm saying is that they've put a lot of really, like you're right.
Popular
They did put a lot of their really, like there's not a lot. There's only like 2 pages worth of games, right? But they're the really good, like Prince of Persia, Sands of, like these are good games. These are games that people bought the original Xbox for. So
And I
the fact that
assume
PlayStation doesn't have that is to his credit a dock to that console. Go
So
ahead,
if-
Zaidin.
I was gonna say I assume they will add more titles as time goes on.
Yeah, because they
do a
did the
lot.
same thing.
Like I'll see Reddit posts of them saying like, "Hey, this is now on the compatibility list." Like they're constantly doing it. So that's what I was getting at. If I was an Xbox person all the way through, that would
Mhm.
be super cool. But honestly, like most of the Xbox 360 games that I really enjoyed, I've now picked up on the PC. Whatever I could have, like I've got the whole Halo collection now with Master Chief Collection release. There's just other stuff. Like, yeah, I might jump back in literally just for Rock Band. I don't know if I've turned on my Xbox or anything else now that we have this on here, Master Chief Collection on here. But
Mhm.
like, so if PlayStation did the same thing with all those old PlayStation games, because those are
Oh,
so
man.
old. So that's what I'm getting at. The Xbox
They're so
original
good, too.
and the PlayStation 2 were out at the same time. See, those games are so old. I feel like they're harder to come across on the PC, like on Steam or just somewhere to have it, because that's when shit was released on disc still. And I wish I had the console option that would allow me to play those old games. I still have those old games. I do not want to have to bust out my old stuff. I don't want to pay $75 for a upgrader to make the shit
Yeah.
look good on a new HD TV. It's
No,
not
you're making a good point, Cameron, because and these companies, they should take this into account, because people like all of us would pay the money for a new console if we could have the ease of access of being able to play our old games on this new console. If you told me that I could play every PlayStation title on my new PS5, dude,
So-
I'd be out there buying one. I really would.
because the console release of the PS3 was so shit and it was so expensive. I think there are so many people out there like you and me who, when we were like kids, when we were just kind of playing whatever random game that looked cool at the time, we didn't look into them, we didn't learn about them before we bought them. I
Mhm.
think that I feel like that started when Xbox 360 came out. We went to get the new generation console, and well, guess what? The PlayStation 3 was super expensive. No one had it and no one liked it. You could go get an Xbox Arcade for like $200 on release. And that's what I did.
That's a good point.
So I think a lot of kids jumped over. So now it sucks that none of these kids before, like when I was growing up, I knew all of my friends had PlayStation 2s. Only one of my friends had an Xbox. And no, never mind. I take that back. Two of my friends had an Xbox. And it was really weird to go play those because it was totally foreign to me. I thought I was good at video games. I love video games so much, but I never got to play one of those. Like all the Nintendo consoles and the PlayStation consoles, I knew about. I had played them, but Xbox was foreign. And I don't know, it was just totally different. I think the Xbox 360 was so much ahead of the time, or not ahead of the time, but ahead of the curve of the PlayStation 3. And that's kind of where
would
we're running
agree.
into an issue. So I think PlayStation would have had a really solid move if they would have done the exact same thing that the Xbox had just done now, or Microsoft had just done.
Times have changed, though. It's like a different era now, and you kind of alluded to that at the beginning of your little rant there. But like,
Sorry, I ranted.
no, you didn't. That's a bad choice of words.
I
You didn't
just
rant.
give these
But no, I think that was a really good point you made at the beginning, especially about like how, because the first console I bought was the arcade. I remember I convinced my parents
Mhm.
to buy it for me, and part of the reason they bought it for me was because it was so cheap, so accessible. So So yeah, I mean, and I got the arcade and I had a blast with it, man.
Yeah.
So
And first, that's the reason. That was the reason I had
one
it.
thing that I really hope is that like I don't know, like it feels like it almost feels like nowadays these consoles aren't as accessible to kids.
Because you need the internet. Young kids.
Well, also the internet, but also just the like the price point for the console up front and like buying it, like you had to pre like we didn't. I mean, I guess the Xbox 360 and the PS2 were sold out like immediately, obviously, but like it seemed like they were more available quicker back then. Maybe I was just younger.
I kind of,
Maybe
I a little bit disagree though, because I feel
okay.
like, yeah, okay, the brand new consoles are less accessible to kids, but like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I think are just fine. Because I'm sure their parent can get on there, figure out how to download Fortnite, and let them have at it, or
Mhm.
just put a game in and wait for it to load and have at it. I feel like computers are not accessible to kids. I think the first time kids ever get into computer gaming, unless their parent is and pass that along to them, like they had built their kid a computer, I don't think that kids ever get into computer gaming until at least high school. And then they're like, "Oh, cool. Like I've watched YouTube. I've learned about this. Like I'm going to do this."
I think there's more in 2020 in this day and age. I think there are more children who are who have like who are PC gaming than ever before, because the reason I say that is because I play, for example, yesterday when I played Apex Legends, I played with like this 12-year-old. I was joking to my mom. I was like, well, obviously kids are back like being homeschooled or like doing online school, because I'm just seeing like all these kids in my lobbies now. Like I was just making it so my point is that like there are more of them playing PC games, but
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe it's more like the kids with like well-off parents or something like that. But
Or cool older brothers.
Yeah, I guess you could go out and buy a pre-built, but I don't think very many parents are confident in giving their kid a computer to just, here you go, you got the internet. You know what I mean? So the parents who wouldn't care about this is so fucking stereotypical, and I'm so sorry. The parents who wouldn't care that their kid just got on the internet and can go willy-nilly do whatever the hell they want with the computer, probably the parents who aren't going to be able to afford to buy their parent a computer.
whoa.
I know. I was fucked up what I was getting ready to say, but I can think of some rich parents who don't give a
That's
shit.
a bold claim.
It was a bold claim. It was like Fawcett telling all the sports guys to fuck off that one time.
Why do you guys give me shit about that?
That's because it's hilarious.
Dude,
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
I'm right though. Dude.
We make bold topics, bold opinions, bold bit opinions here.
All right, listen.
Calm down, Cam. Second win
Listen.
getting hit right here.
Dude, me too.
Apex.
All right. Okay. So all right. So I
Ooh,
think
bro,
we've settled the our console like debate for now. I'm actually, like, all jokes aside, I'm really glad we like talked about it, because it is something that a lot of people have been like talking about lately, because obviously both the new consoles have come out. So I'm gonna end this podcast with one more quick little topic for us all.
Lightning round.
Semi lightning round. We've still got some time. I'm keeping track here. We've still got some time. But
Lightning bolt.
lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt?
bolt. I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm just gonna go right to the topic.
Christmas.
No.
Oh my god, shut him up.
All right. So Zidane, I want to ask you something.
No.
Come on, man.
What's up? What you got?
So this next topic, something that like I could start it, but like I'd really like someone else to go for it. Like it may be just something right off the top of their head. Okay. So
Okay.
just get ready, right?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Zidane?
I'm ready.
Games that push. I'm not even gonna set a precedent or anything like I usually do. Games that push the boundaries. Go.
Portal.
Go. No. Go.
What?
Go ahead and take a minute, Zidane. Go ahead. take a minute. You can think
You
about
said
it.
anyone.
Go. Yeah. Start with
I
him.
thought that
Start
was
with him.
anyone.
Start with him.
All right. Portal, why?
So I'm sorry if I interjected. I thought you said anyone, just whatever you said, and that came to mind really fast for me.
right.
But
You're good, dude.
I think Portal was not unique in its use of Portal. It actually adopted the idea from a couple of other games who had really similar implementations of it before that, but it was like the popularized version of it. So it's what I jumped to. But I think it really pushed the limits by using like space bending mechanics as a puzzle solving mechanic. Like there were some really cool components to Portal where it was more than just, okay, you have to use this to get on top of like things that you can't just walk to. There were times where you had to position your portals in such a way that you could jump into one with enough inertia to launch yourself straight forward out of another one to clear a gap or something. Tons of really cool things like that. Or in Portal 2, you use the portals to manipulate different types of like, there's this gel that like flows in the puzzle areas, and you can use your portals to redistribute that pretty much wherever, and they have different effects. So there's one that makes you fast, there's one that makes stuff bouncy, there's another one that makes a non-usable surface usable with the portal gun. There's just, I think it pushes the boundaries because there's so many unique like problem solving mechanics to it. I've never found anything that really fills that.
I understood this question entirely different.
Me too.
I thought Foz was talking about like pushing the boundaries as in like socially acceptable, like
That's a good
over
one.
the top, like, you know what I mean? Like pushes the boundaries of like, okay, is that all right? You know what I mean? Is that gonna be
Being
okay to
like
put-
controversial.
Yes, being too controversial, because when he said that,
I'm actually
thing that
thinking of
came-
it differently from both of you, so this is good.
okay, well, let me give my part here then, because this is really interesting to hear what you have to say. Because I remember when Modern Warfare 2 released, and they had that like walking through an airport, gunning down like just
Ooh,
literal
yeah.
civilians, and like you had to play that part. Like it literally at the beginning of the game when you start it, it says, "Hey, like there's graphic content in this game. You have the chance now to skip it." So then you would have never had done the mission if you would have chose to skip it. So you can bypass that, and then you play that mission. It's called No Russian, and you literally walk through an airport and you just start gunning down people, and it's like pretty fucked up. And I was probably like a freshman when that game
Mhm.
came out. So I remember one night my buddies and I, and there was like, I don't know, we had like 8 people, and there was like some girls there. And they were like, "Hey, can we do the No Russian mission?" I'm like, "I don't give a shit, play it." And like literally the girls were like a little shocked. They're like, "What the hell are you guys doing? Like that's fucked up." But it is a little fucked up, and I think that's what now he can clarify. But I want Zidane to say, yeah, well, no, I don't. I want Zidane to say his before you clarify. Actually, sorry.
I mean, when you said pushing the boundaries like that, I thought you were like, when you said socially acceptable, I thought you were meaning like the violence in like Mortal Kombat and things like that. What I'm getting to is like what is like the moral decisions in the games that you have to make that are good and bad, like in like Last of Us, and games like that, where that really makes the player essentially feel bad, like I shouldn't do this. And
Careful. I have not.
I'm not going to say anything.
He specifically did not specify.
I'm not specifying anything, but like, I should not do this, but I'm going to do it because, it wants me to, or, something like that. That's
you're talking about game choices.
I'm talking about morally when pushing the boundaries.
I'm going to join Discord. I'm going to play Last of Us this weekend.
Cool.
That's the game you should play.
It's really good. It's up there on my list.
Okay, so what I meant, honestly, guys, like when I say push the boundaries, I mean it's a podcast. Whatever your interpretation is, like I will accept it. But
I think all of ours were vastly different.
They were. That's why I wanted to, like, I guess, talk about it for a second, because from my perspective, I guess what I meant was kind of almost like Stan was in the arena more. So I would say, because I was looking for like games that push the boundaries, not of like social things, but more so in gaming. These are games that push the boundaries of the genre or of
Mhm.
gaming in general, right? So kind of like what Stan was saying with Portal, which I actually very much agree with. Um, Stuff like that. More so than, because we could honestly, another great segment we have would be like pushing the boundaries of like violence, like within Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. But can you guys think of any games that push the boundaries of a genre, or like I said, just gaming in general? It can be very vague like that almost. Um, if not, I could like dish out a couple that I think are kind of in that category and give you guys a little time to think.
I want to hear some examples.
Yeah, go for it, Fuzz.
Okay. So I think a game that really pushed the genre, and again, this is a very broad reference that I'm using. So like, but I think Gears of War really pushed the genre of like third person shooter type games, because it added like a really really fun movement mechanic. So in Gears of War, wall bouncing was like a huge thing, and shotgun battles, and especially 1v1ing, which I love. But
Word out
um,
1v1s.
no, it's not even close to don't put more down Gears of War in the same sentence. I'm
Dude.
offended.
In a 1v1 battle, I'd pick Mordau over. Sorry, Foz, I hurt your feelings, but that's. Come on. All right, we're ending it here tonight, everybody. Make sure to.
No, man. In Cameron, in Gears of War, like if you're playing like Execution, which is the one life game mode, and there were like one person on each team left, there were wall balancing parts in the map, and you and the guy on the opposition would line up. You would melee once, reload, failure reload at the same time, and then the 1v1 would start. And you can only use shotguns, and you wall bounce and shoot, and whoever wins wins.
So is that like that's like an of honor thing though, like amongst the community?
Yeah, and people who would dishonor that, like say, "Oh, I'm just gonna win this round. I'm gonna." So like, if I were to say me and you are 1v1ing, Cameron, and I do it normally, I fail the reload, right? So I don't have active reload, I don't have extra damage in my bullet, and you time the reload and you just one shot me. Yeah, no one's gonna like you, bro.
Disrespect. So that
No
reminds me
one's gonna like you. Like your
so much-
teammates, the people on your team, even though you just won the round, they're gonna flame you.
See, okay, so that reminds me of like Dark Souls community PvP. Like if you get into a fight arena and people just come in and start attacking, like that's dumb. If you don't like, everybody's gonna work together. They're gonna stop the duel. They're gonna work together, just kill that guy, get him out of there, and return to what they were doing. Or like if you get into a duel
They'll
and
probably just farm him, right? They'll probably just
no,
farm
'cause
that
really,
guy.
if he comes back, yeah, they probably wouldn't let him join and they just kill him. So, but like, it's like honorable in most settings to not drink during a like not to heal in a duel, so you just get your health bar and that's it. So some duel arenas they would just like everybody would drink all of their Estus and then do the animation of hey I have no healing left.
That's the same thing.
It's like honor. It's the code. It's like what you know.
It's the same thing, Cameron, because when you fail the active reload, you're showing that you don't have extra damage in your bullets, right? You're showing that it's a pure 1v1. It's whoever's better, right? It's
Right.
not about the active reload. It's who can wall bounce and shoot better than the other guy. That's it.
So okay, I respect that a lot then. I love that thing. And the other thing is, after you do all that, most of the time you bow or do some sort of animation. You're like, all right, I'm ready. And it's so cool.
Unfortunately, there's no emotes in old school Gears of War, so you kind of just like.
So you can't
You
meme
just
on
crouch.
everybody.
Well, you can crouch on a wall, but that's about it.
Oh, so like in Halo, everybody would just
Mhm.
like, if you're friendly on the opposite team, everyone's just crouching, not shooting, looking at the ground. Like,
Yeah.
there's a way to express something to the other team that, like, hey, something's up. And that's so awesome.
I love how teabagging is like a universal thing in all video games. So like if you teabag somebody who's dead, you're essentially BMing them.
Right?
But like if you because like I keep going back to Apex Legends, but it's the only game I've like shooter I played recently. But like if someone's teabagging at me in Apex Legends, I kind of like almost assume they're friendly, even if they're an enemy. Because they're like spam teabagging. They're just like sitting there, they're not shooting, they're just spam teabagging. Just so I don't know.
I'm friendly.
And then they'll like one shot me with a PK
Yeah.
to bait me. But yeah, so anyways, like that's a game that I really liked that was like a shooter that kind of pushed the boundaries of like movement and third person shooting, which is kind of niche, I guess you could say, in hindsight. But another game that we've talked about before that I could also set an example for is Life is Strange, because it's like it's
Master.
a totally different type of game, but like yeah, it is a masterpiece. I agree. But it's like a Telltale game, right? But they took the Telltale model and they made it a lot better. And they implemented really fun mechanics in the game and great storytelling to make a really good game. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of things I'm talking about when I'm talking about games that push the boundaries of gaming and in genres. Those are like the kind of things that I'm talking about. So again, anything you guys can think of.
I said mine.
I have one that's kind of
Yours
similar,
was really good, Stan.
similar to Portal in a way. It deals with perspective and pushing that boundary. It's called Superliminal. Very creative game. It kind of
I
follows
don't know about
it kind of follows the same story. You're in a lab and you kind of eventually have to escape and get out, but you use perspective versus portals throughout this game to get through areas. So
When was it released, Saidin?
it was originally released on the Epic Game Store, so not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
So you use your perspective to like looking at objects to either grow that object or shrink that object. So if you walk across the room, like you pick it up and you lift it up, it's going to grow in size, and you use that to progress through the room, or you can shrink it, or you have to look certain directions on the wall to get things to line up. To let's say a door will appear if you get everything lined up correctly, or a cube, and then you can pick the cube up because it just materialized out of nothing because you got it right, and it's really cool.
That sounds really interesting. It kind of reminds me of that one hallway in Super Mario 64 where there's the small perspective and the large perspective. There's the two different worlds. There's the small and the large one.
Mhm.
And I remember as a kid, it always blew my mind because like I could walk down one side and I'm super small, and I walk down another and I'm super large. So like that same perspective type thing, like distorting it.
Yep, that's what you're doing the entire
Same
game.
kind of concept, except that's like a whole game, right?
Yeah, it's the whole game.
Oh shit, that's on Epic. That's just on Epic Game Store.
It might be on Steam now, but I originally got it off of Epic Games. I think for a time it was free. I don't remember.
That sounds really cool.
It is interesting. It's something an experience.
I think I've heard of that game too.
And one more that I want to push, I guess. I don't even know how I should say that it pushed boundaries, but it's called Firewatch.
Oh my
I
god,
don't know what that game is.
I love that game.
Like just
I
like the
love that
sense
game.
of loneliness that you get when you're playing through this game that like only a video game can convey to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like a movie can't do this, what Firewatch does.
Nope.
And
Nope.
like that is the only way you're gonna experience that is through this game. So Firewatch.
You can't really. You know what sucks, Zidane? You cannot talk about Firewatch too much without like spoiling it. You know what I
Nope.
mean?
That's why all I said was loneliness.
Yeah. Fuck,
Son
man.
of a gun.
You're right. That's a really good game. Honestly, okay, so would you put Life is Strange and Firewatch in the same category genre of games?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. As you can see, I'm unsure about my yeah. I'm kind of like in the middle.
I almost feel like Firewatch is better now that I'm thinking about it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Food for thought.
Who
That's
would-
actually okay. So, Stan, I think you should play Firewatch.
You would love it.
That's one of those games that I watched a playthrough of it, so I kind of experienced it that way, but I've never actually played it myself.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched.
I don't know anything about it, and
I want to say I watched Cry play it.
I
Like,
feel like you
well-
should play it, Cam. It's not that long.
Okay,
Yeah, no, you should play too, Cameron.
okay, don't tell me about it. Let's not talk about it here.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
done. Firewatch. Boundary pushing.
That's it.
I only thought of
Cameron.
really one thing. Yeah. This is kind of hard one, honestly. So what came to mind was Kingdom Hearts 1. And that came to mind because it really pushed the boundary on difficulty. Like you could play through the game and you're good. Just beat the game. Pretty hard. Final boss was really hard. But you could go back and you could fight Sephiroth, and he was a son of a bitch. Like you had to look like nowadays you'd be looking up a guide like or something to figure out like how do I beat this dude? Like what do I need to do? It's like a Dark Souls hard boss fight in a Kingdom Hearts game. Like it's difficult. So that was interesting. There was one more in the game where you would like take this carpet ride in the Aladdin world and you get interrupted by like the sand monsters or like sand heartless thing. It wasn't really like a monster. And he was like just as hard as Sephiroth. And it was just really like you had to be ready for it. Kind of like Final Fantasy VII, Emerald Weapon and Ultimate Weapon or whatever. Like they were really, really hard bosses. And I love that in a game. Like I want something in the game. Like I not necessarily like New Game Plus, but New Game Plus kind of pushes the boundaries because it gets progressively harder every time through. But like or just something in the base game that's like extra hard. So like in Dark Souls 2, I think they had a lot of bosses that pushed the boundaries, like bosses that were like extra hard, but they were always optional. You did not have to go do those extra bosses, but if you did, it's really pushing it. And then that's something the DLCs in Dark Souls and all the Dark Souls games do, is they put out extra hard bosses, so it really pushes the boundary of that game, like the skill gap boundary, and it's just really good.
Want to make a quick mention with your Final Fantasy VII. Like, in order to beat Emerald Weapon and the other one,
Grind, baby.
not
grind,
just the
baby,
grind,
not
but
the
you
grind.
you had to you had to grind to get a gold chocobo so you could run across water to go to an island that had the Knights of the Round Table with summon materia, and then you had to have whatever materia it is that lets you when you like use a materia, it uses it twice. So you effectively used Knights of the Round Table twice. So that was like, I don't know, 24 hits on a monster on your enemy. It was ridiculous, and
It's a good time.
it
It's
was
a good time.
It was too much.
It's good.
It was too fucking much. All right, just too much.
It was a lot. It was a lot of grinding. It was RuneScape levels of grinding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grind, baby, but not the leveling kind.
One more line. One more line, please.
I mean, like playing WoW online, but then a rogue gets from behind.
Oh,
I don't know what's happening. I don't want any part of it.
you missed my. I love it.
You
Bob
know.
was the only one who picked up on my inside joke, and it was lovely. I loved it. We're
Can
nerds.
I? All right, so
we're nerdy nerds.
so I got another game actually. Yeah, I love that, Cameron. I love that reference. 10 out of 10. But I have another game that I feel like pushed the boundaries a little bit. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong about this. I'm trying to like think back and think if there was another game like it. So you guys remember like those old arcadey shooters that it was like 2D, you know, you put the quarter in. I still play them. There's like this old arcade down at Lava Hot Springs that you guys don't know what that is. It's so
No
hard
clue.
to explain. I know it sucks. It hurts me, but like
Might as well be Canadian. Jeez.
yeah. Pretty close, man, in Idaho. You know. But so
Explains a lot.
okay, so like those old arcadey 2D shooters, like you know what I mean? So I think Star Fox for the Nintendo 64 kind of changed like the spaceship shooter dynamic for games at that time. Think about it. Because it was 3D, you went to different worlds and stuff like that. So like and I remember the final boss, Andros, in Star Fox always scared the fuck out. Yeah, dude,
I know. He
scared the
just
fuck-
head in hands. He's like,
dude, he was scary. But like, so I think that's another game that kind of pushed the boundaries, you know, because it was like they transitioned to 3D. Stop high-fiving him, dude. They transitioned to 3D. Go ahead. Zayden.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong there. However, comma.
I felt like there was
Semicolon.
another game that did this better. So go
Star
ahead, go ahead.
Star Fox for the Super Nintendo is what started that. They actually came out with a new chip
Okay.
for the game called the Super FX chip, and it made it able to do what Star Fox did. It was 3D. I mean, it was fucking
But
horrible
time out.
3D. Horrible 3D.
I don't think that's
Wait.
true. But
No.
I'm gonna forget.
No, he's right. Wait.
I know I'm right.
I think it's older than that. So Stan showed me a game one time. You said it was your favorite game to play on like the NES or SNES. What was it?
3D World Runner.
3D World Runner. Did that come out before or after Star Fox?
It wasn't.
Do you know what 3D World Runner is, Ideen?
I mean, 3D World Runner was 3D,
It felt,
Kind
but I
of.
feel like it's sorry.
but
this
I
is
don't think it
weird.
was truly 3D.
No, guys. All I can say is that Zayden is actually right. So there was like the Super FX. Like I remembered it as soon as he said, as soon as he said it, like the Super FX chip, it made that 3D, right? Was it the same worlds though? I don't remember.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean,
Kind of.
yeah. I mean, it didn't look the same
Was
in.
it the same planets?
Yeah, same planets, but they definitely didn't look the same in Star Fox 64.
Okay, so then that's the real game that pushed the boundaries. Okay, so we came to a conclusion. We figured it out. Like that's the game that pushed the boundaries. Like, and then so did they just like want to re-release it on the 64?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you would call it a remaster.
Oh, we're
Oh,
coming.
it'd be a remake at that point.
Oh, it would, huh?
Yeah.
So then Demon's Souls must be a remake.
No. Do you think that the original?
All right,
Star
settle
Fox
down,
is
boys.
Star Fox?
Star
It's
Fox.
still the
Hold
scale
on.
the
Star
same.
Fox and Star Fox 64 are almost carbon copies of each other, except one looks like shit. Demon's Souls.
Really?
Zayden,
And then
was it the Super FX chip? Was that what it was?
yes, it was Super FX. I shouldn't say carbon copies because they're not carbon copies.
Okay, then it's a remake. I want carbon copies with graphics. That's a remaster.
You're gonna eat your words by the end of the week.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a remake, dude. We'll look it up.
That's such a good point, Zayden. I'm glad you brought that up because that really, that's such a good point because that is that's kind of the antithesis of what
Antithesis.
I can't.
No, that's correct.
Because
I just he said his face. It was weird when he said it.
Anyway, continue.
because like that is really like a boundary pushing game. Like it's like the apex of what we were talking about because it's literally something that like they added it, right?
They added it to the board.
Yeah, so like they added that and then made it like a part of like the fuck, I can't like
I don't know. There's probably a couple other games that have that chip on it, but
yeah,
I can't.
I
name
don't
them.
know. I don't know.
Star Fox, Super Nintendo, boundary pushing.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I'm glad we brought that up. Because I was just gonna be a normie and talk about the Nintendo 64 version, but then you dropped a bomb on me. And then I was like, oh yeah.
Super FX, man.
Super FX, right? Like I want to look that up. Like it was the right?
Mm-hmm. But Cam, do you have any other boundary pushing? Damn.
Yeah.
I'm all good.
No, I just really again I talk a lot about difficulty in the game itself. So when something pushes the boundary of how hard it is, like that's really cool to me. Because I think
Yeah.
online play will
Yeah,
always
Didn't like make it harder type guy.
I guess.
Make the game more difficult or make it interesting, right?
I still like story games. Don't get me wrong. I still like to play casual shit. I grind in RuneScape. I play WoW Classic.
Yeah, those aren't story games.
No, I was just saying.
You come play Mass. You gotta play Mass Effect, bro. You gotta play.
I own them. I bought those for you.
Okay.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
I bought it. Go play it.
I got too much on my catalog right now.
Okay.
I gotta finish the hero before I play any new single player.
Go finish it. Brandon finished it like
I know.
way before you guys
He's
did.
a madman when he puts he's John Wick of video games. When he puts his mind to something, he is determined. He's
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what we're talking about right now. All right. So all right. So with that, all right, I want to thank you guys so much for another podcast. Are you guys just gonna like high five each other from now on?
Apparently so.
Is that like the new thing? Okay.
I want a hug.
Let's not make that a thing.
Get out of here. You're not hugging me, you weirdo.
So I want to thank you guys for another awesome podcast. Like I said, this is the best part of my week. It came later than usual this week, and hey, we overcame the adversities of the universe.
That's
we
for
made
sure.
this happen, right?
Yeah,
See,
it happened.
It happened.
We did it. All right. So, like always, thank you guys for like doing this with me. Thank everybody who watched for watching. I know I said it at the beginning, but if there's anything that you wanted to comment about on the topics we discussed, if there's something we missed, something we didn't talk about that you want to talk about, we would definitely like to do so in the comment section. So just let us know. And with that, Cameron.
make sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate all you guys, and we are not going to come out. We're coming out with normal music, so we don't copyright claimed. Here we go. Have a good night.
No DMCA.
Demon Souls is a remake.